What would you do if you saw this in the dark corner of your room? Me? I'd probably jump out of my body. This movie, Daddy's Head, made me look behind me in the dark and look at the shadows. If you watch this movie, you would understand why. So, let me give a quick summary of the film if you haven't watched it already. But if you don't want to see the summary, just skip to this time. So, basically in this film, we follow Isaac and his stepmother Laura. And we follow them after the tragic death of Isaac's father, James, in a car accident. And we follow them through a series of creepy events with this strange creature. So, as they're trying to build a relationship because they don't want each other. Laura doesn't want to be Isaac's mother and Isaac doesn't want her to be. And we follow them through a series of creepy events with this creature. First we see it crouching in the corner and they see it and it runs away. And we also see it a few other times in Isaac's bedroom, trying to speak to him, in the vent, trying to speak to him. I'll come back to all of these events later. And you see it in the forest, we see this weird house that it apparently built. And in the end, it goes into his bedroom and lays on him. The stepmother goes in and I'll go into what happened, but she kills it. So yeah, this thing got killed. And in the end of the film, we actually see that Isaac and Laura actually got along. We see this while Isaac calling her mother. So they worked through it and they're a family now. Okay, so let me give you my theory on what this thing is. So this is a wild theory, but hear me out because I have a lot of evidence for this and I think I'm right. So my theory is it's a crash landed alien. I know, but I have evidence for this and I think I'm right. And also I think it actually tried to seek help and that it didn't mean any harm. And yeah, I know that sounds crazy because if you watch the film, it looks like it wants to do something to hurt people, but yeah, I'll show you why it didn't want to and that it didn't mean any harm. So let me go to my first piece of evidence. In the beginning, we see the smoke of a wildfire and it looks very huge, all that smoke. Eventually, Laura calls the firemen and they search for the fire, but they never find a fire. So there's smoke, but no fire. So what if there was actually no fire? The smoke came from the crash landing of this alien thing. I know, it's crazy. So for my second piece of evidence, let's look at its appearance. I know, it's uncanny and it's creepy. So let's examine it. Why is it so creepy? Well, it's obvious, its face. And the main reason its face is so creepy is because of that strange, weird smile. Yeah, it is very weird and uncanny and it's scary. And you may ask me, if it doesn't mean any harm and is trying to get help, why does it have that strange smile? Well, listen up. So this thing we see, it has the ability to mimic faces. It can change the shape of its face. We see this also later when it changed its face to a dog to calm down a dog. We'll get back to that part later. So it can mimic faces. But why did it mimic that face? Well, this photo was found in its layer in the end of the film. And see that smile? It's Isaac's dad and it's his smile. So what if this alien took this photo, saw Isaac happy and smiling in the photo, and thought if it mimicked that creepy smile, it would be able to get close to Isaac and everyone would be okay with it. Because it's an alien and it doesn't know our culture. Maybe it doesn't know that's actually creepy because it's an alien. So maybe its creepy face that is really the big reason it's creepy is just a misunderstanding. It thought that it wouldn't be creepy to Isaac and us. Okay, so let's go to the part where it changed its face to a dog. So this is the only time it hurts anything. And it didn't hurt the dog intentionally. If you saw this part, the dog goes to its house and it starts barking outside its house. And then it goes to the front of it and it changed its face to a dog's face and tried to calm the dog down. So it didn't want it to attack, it wanted to calm it down. but then the dog attacked, and then it killed the dog. So, it didn't kill the dog because it wanted to. I think it killed it in self-defense. And when we eventually see the body of the dog, it didn't eat it or anything. It just cut it up maybe with a knife that it stole because there's a knife that's missing. And also, if it wanted to hurt or eat or do something to people, why didn't it? Not just the dog, but all the other times it was in Isaac's bedroom or in the house. We see it super fast. Why didn't it hurt him if it wanted to hurt him? Well, it didn't hurt him because it didn't want to. Like here in the vent, this creepy scene, it just talks to Isaac. It doesn't go to attack him. Even though if it wanted to, it could. And in the end, this creepy scene, which I think is actually the most creepy scene, we see it like climbing up Isaac's bed and laying on him, just laying there with its face near to Isaac. And I think maybe it thought what it was doing wasn't wrong, wasn't weird, because maybe it saw people lying together and sleeping, and it thought what it was doing was normal. And then Laura, she wakes up, she has like this dream or vision of this hand reaching out, which is really weird. It caught me off guard, but maybe it's something like her motherly senses or something, or just a coincidence. I'm not completely sure. Say hello to Max. And then she goes to Isaac's room and she opens the door and we see this. Yeah, that's creepy. But it didn't do anything. It was just lying there, and if it wanted to hurt him or eat him, why did it just lie there? And then when the mom came in, she screamed, and then I think the Sting panicked when she started screaming. So then it ran at the door, and she started closing the door, but it ran into it, so it slammed the door in her face. And then she falls over and she's kind of concussed. And then we also see it's not only Laura that got injured in that scene, it's also the thing. Its face is like messed up. And then Isaac sees it and he panics because that's creepy and it doesn't look like his dad anymore. The face is just messed up. And then it just like runs around. It's like on the wall just running around. If it wanted to hurt anyone, it could have then. And maybe it wanted to just run away, and maybe it didn't mean to harm Laura. It just tried to run away because it got scared and it ran into the door because she closed it. Hey, sorry for the intermission, but if you like my doggy here, please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon. He says hi, by the way. His name is Max. And then Laura comes into the room to go to Isaac because Isaac is afraid now. And she comforts him. And then we see it like coming from the corner, like going near them, saying Isaac's name. Really creepy, but I don't think it thought it was creepy or didn't mean it to be creepy. And Laura thought it was dangerous, so she grabbed a knife and she started to attack it. And she just stabbed and stabbed and stabbed. And then it ran away, and like we see later, it actually died. And we see here its skeleton in its lair. So yeah, it did die. So we know this thing is a physical, biological creature because it can die, it has blood, and it has a skeleton. And the only difference is it has a weird ability to change its face, and maybe it's an ability the species actually evolved for some reason. So this may actually be an encounter with the alien that crash landed accidentally, and they tried to get help from Isaac because they were the closest people, and because it didn't understand our culture and it didn't know what to do or not to do around us, it made people afraid and eventually got killed because of it. So I think this whole thing is a misunderstanding. This alien just wanted help, but in the end it got killed because people thought it was creepy. And if you saw that, you would be afraid, you would be scared, you would think it's dangerous, even though it didn't do anything yet. And you don't know if it's actually dangerous. Why? There's a few reasons. First, it's creepy and it's unfamiliar. We have evolved to be afraid of things we don't understand or that looks creepy as a way to survive. And also, this looks almost human but not quite human. and that freaks us out because of the Uncanny Valley phenomenon. I actually want to make a video about this in the future. The Uncanny Valley basically means we are afraid and get creeped out by things that are almost human but not entirely. Maybe in the past we were hunted by a predator that looked almost human but was not a human and hunted us for some reason. So that's why it looks scary, because it looks almost human. So this thing is an alien that tried to get help, but it misunderstood us and got killed. It never meant any harm. That's my theory, and I think I'm right. So, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you like this movie? Let me know, and until next time.